It is housekeeping out and death.
Welcome to another episode of Inside Scoop with Alex and Jeff. I'm Alex Dingman.
I'm Jeff Doss. Let's do this, guys. How you doing, Alex?
Doing all right, man.
Good,
I'm
good.
back.
How you
Oh,
doing,
yeah.
insiders? Hope you guys let us know who is in the building. And
Yo, I want
go.
to tell you something.
All right, I got stuff too. So,
But you know what? Before we get into that, because I don't want to jump overstep it, because we are going to talk a lot about it, because we are sponsored by the Virtual Fight Tour.
yes.
Virtual Fight. Then this past Virtual Fight Tour, the champion of champions. It was great. It was
Yes.
great. It was highlighted. It was the final match. No losers. One winner. Like we've known it
Well,
to
there
be.
was a loser. Yeah, I mean.
Oh, wait, I'm sorry. Yeah, there's only one winner is what I
What's
meant
up,
to say.
Jackson?
Yeah,
What's up,
thank you.
Andrew? Yeah, only one winner.
So we're gonna get into that heavily.
And the next one is going to be at the Diamond. So they
Right.
just announced yesterday. So
glad that came to be. That's
Yes.
that's a great move.
So keep it up, Virtual Fight Tour. We're excited to be a part of that. And make sure you guys support them in any way you can. Get some swag of theirs. Message Jesse, ask about how to support him. And looking
I
forward
still
to
gotta
the
get a
next show.
T-shirt. I haven't gotten one yet. I don't know.
Yeah,
I don't
I
know
gotta
how to
get
do
one
that.
too.
Yeah, let's all reach out to Jesse and get a shirt.
Yep.
Okay. Right. Been dying to get into this. Listen to this. This is not even into karate yet. So I'm back home. So I told you and the insiders that it's like my house is torn apart, right?
Right.
Something happened to me on Monday that I wouldn't wish upon anybody. Let's check this, right? So Sunday, I was DJing a wedding, and I get home at like 3:30 in the morning, right? So I'm dead. It don't matter how late you were up. Those kids,
Right.
they're getting up at 5
They're getting
o'clock
up.
no matter what,
Right.
right? So when I get home to the house that we were in, I go to my wife and our daughter's in bed with her, and I said, "Listen, I just got home." And she goes, "Oh my goodness!" And I said, "It was rough going home. I was swerving. I was so tired." She says, "You sleep in. I'll take the kids. Don't worry." I'm like, "Great. I'm going to the other bed." Right. So at like 5 o'clock or something like that, my daughter comes in the room. "Hey, Daddy," and I'm like, "Oh, tell me about your day." So she was getting all into it. And then she goes, "I'm going to go play with dinosaurs now." So I'm like, all right, go. In my mind, I'm like, oh, well, Lindsay must be in the other room. No.
Oh.
She snuck out of bed. Lindsay never even had anything to know about it, right? She didn't know. So, right? She comes up, talks to me, says, "I'm going to go play with dinosaurs," which she was doing. And then she decided, I'm going to grandma's house, which is like 8-9 blocks away.
Oh,
right?
wow.
Not even that. I would say like 7 blocks away, maybe.
Okay.
Right? So she walks out of this house, and she knows how to get there because we're taking a walk there.
Right.
She walks out of the house. She's in pajamas, no shoes, nothing. And she starts to walk. Now, the neighbor of the house we were staying in sees this happen, talks to the other neighbor and goes, Do you know who this is? They're like, "Yeah, I think I know who that is." So she gets in her car. Right. This is going bad.
Yeah.
Right. Drives up and says, "Who are you? Where are you going?" Little girl, like, "Do you need help?" She's like, "No, I'm going to my grandma's house because my dog is there. My mom won't let the dog stay at this house." So she says, "Okay, I'll follow you." Isn't thankful
Yeah.
that she didn't bring her in the car with her. Like, "Here, come in the car with me."
Right. Yeah.
That she didn't like touch my daughter, didn't do anything like that. She just followed her. And then she had to cross 2 streets. Right?
Lord, man.
Goes up to to her grandma's, my mother-in-law's house. And she walks with her and she goes, "Is this your granddaughter?" And she's like, "Yes, it is." Brings her in, calls me. So I'm like, I tell Lindsay flies over there, and I'm like, you can't make this up, right?
Yeah.
So the amount of like emotions that's happening. So we're
Yeah,
like, we're getting out of that house. So now we're back in this house.
Wow, man.
It's horrendous. Here's what's so bad, and here's what's so bad about being here, because the workers, there are guys, right? They got to come in and out so much, and they're leaving all the debris and trash like right outside the back door because we don't have an attached garage. So all the trash is just sitting right by the door, and then since they're coming in and out so much, the door is open. The amount of flies in my house, you could not count. You could every morning.
That's the worst, man.
Every morning I wake up and it's on the ground so far at least 100.
Wow.
It's so bad. It's so bad. So
jeez.
Wow. I'm ready to be done.
Yeah.
Oh, thanks, Sam.
Stopping. We said we were going to stop. We're not stopping.
Ain't stop, won't stop.
Nope.
Speaking of not stopping.
Yeah, speaking of that, I was at a tournament this weekend in North Carolina. So Hickory, North Carolina, Mountain View Open. Good friend of mine, Doug Armstrong's tournament. I've explained about his tournament before. You know, this year with COVID, he went to like a smaller place. It was too small. Like it probably should have been a lot bigger as far as like facility wise. It was
for how many
packed.
People were there?
Yeah, for how many people were there, it was packed. But he makes it a fun weekend. You know, he does a big poker tournament on Friday, does a karate tournament on Saturday, and he does a golf tournament on Sunday, right? So he wants people there the whole weekend, just hanging out, having fun. So always a fun event. What was cool, I had so many people that came up to me just in our local area that listened to the show and were saying, "Thank you for the show. I love listening to it." Asking me about who's coming on next time, who they would like to see, asking me about different things. And so it's really cool just to hear that and to see it. Because a lot of times we don't always get to, right? For someone just to come up to you in person and say, you know, they listen to the show. So thank you guys so much for supporting and keep telling more people about it. So that was really cool. The tournament was a lot of fun. So I didn't get to see too much of Amerikick because I was at that tournament and we, you know, hang out and stuff.
Competing.
Yeah, and I was competing. So I was coordinating, I was coaching, I was competing, and everything. So yeah,
like karate renaissance, man.
It was fun, man. It was good to get back out there and compete. I've explained before, like when I go to events, I want to enjoy it. You know what I mean? So that's something that I stopped doing some because I was just focused on work. And now I enjoy, you know, getting out there and doing whatever I want to do. So it was a lot of fun. Won the traditional grand, won the open grand, and then went right into like literally they're like, all right, you're fighting in the senior grand right now. I'm like, finished my form for grands after I've done like 5 forms. Went over there and did that, but lost by 1 point. But yeah, so more training to do.
Damn.
But was a lot of fun. So shout out to one of my students won the junior open grand, and Brian Pinda's daughter, I always get her and her sister's name, she won the junior traditional grand, and then Daryl Carter won the 18 plus grand, and Tony White won the senior fighting grand. So it was a great event, lots of fun. The biggest event that happens at this tournament is the breaking, and they had 5 competitors against each other. 4 of them were world champions, past world champions, right? So it's insane, right? And what was crazy was, so the guy that usually wins, his name's Chris Westbrook. Sorry, yeah, Chris. He's like amazing, right? Just a big dude, looks like a breaker, does this, you know, he piles up like 8 to 10 boards and does like a Hulk smash with both hands, you know, like boom, all the way through it, does some crazy stuff, right? Well, he did an awesome one. He had one small mistake, I think, or maybe he just didn't do a break. And
like one of them didn't break.
No, like I think he just skipped a break. Because where
Well, that's a
where
major
they start the
fault.
tournament this way, right? With breaking. And so everyone's surrounding the ring. I could even stand up on the stage. I couldn't really even see all of it. It was nuts. Like
It was that packed.
Yeah, it's that packed.
Positive problem.
And so it was cool. And then lots of other great competitors, but this new kid, technically he's like a green belt, but he's like 20 years old. And this kid broke like I think it was 4 boards with a 540, like in the air, just crazy stuff like that. And did some good power breaks, but did some very difficult stuff and just killed it. So, he won the what they call the national breaking title, because really in a lot of ways there's a lot of top level, high level competitors. Cool. So it adds something different that you don't see at tournaments. So
yeah, that's beyond me. I'm not good at that.
The breaking?
No, I can't make a fist with my right hand.
Right.
That's the breaking is not happening with this one.
So that's what some of us did for fun on Friday night, was breaking boards and stuff. So yeah. I did one with a twist kick with just holding it in my hand and just doing it free. Yeah. That's
appropriate after what we were talking about last week.
Right. And then after that, I drove to Salem and I did some stunts for a movie on Sunday. And
dude, you were showing me pictures of this.
Yeah. So guys, these pictures were nuts. Some of you guys probably saw them on Facebook. I didn't really know what I was getting myself into. I didn't know how long of a day it was going to be. I should, because,
Yo, if you can, you should leave a picture in the comments.
Yeah. If I can figure that out. Yeah. And so, man, it was a fun time, but I had to it took me like 30 minutes of makeup, dressing up.
It looked like it took a lot more.
Zombie. I don't know. I mean, I was sitting around for a while and I didn't really know what I was doing. So I kind of learned a couple of a fight scene, but the person I was supposed to be doing it with, he's also like the director and the writer. So he's kind of doing a lot of things like, yeah, we'll figure it out. We went over our thing for like 5 seconds. Right. And he's like, hey, we're going to do it in the green screen. I'm like, oh, all right. So I don't really know. I've never really done any of this stuff. So we do all this. Like, all right, you're good. Get out and wait a little bit.
So
then once everyone
figured this out the day of shooting?
Yeah. And then it was like, all right, we're going to the creek. So mind you,
you didn't know any of this stuff was happening, did you?
No. So, well, I didn't know that I needed some rubber boots because we may need to go to the creek, right? So I get there at 1:30. Again, I leave North Carolina at 9. So get there at 1:30 and, we leave for the creek at like 5:30. So I've been at the karate school, and really the thing is I have my shirt off. So I've been walking around all day shirtless, just in a karate school, in a cold karate school. It's just a different day, man. It's just different. And then we get to the creek and same thing, and I have this mask on and all this paint but it was interesting, really cool. I learned a lot of different stuff. Just, doing things in the water, doing things, and how it looks on camera. So a lot of cool stuff, especially since I'm about to be, I have some new classes that we're working on at our class that has to do with stunts. So at our karate school. So pretty cool to actually do it.
A day in the life of Jeff Doss, I tell you what, man.
Then drive home, and I drive home in the makeup. And I told all you guys, right?
You should have went to the drive. You should have went through a drive-through.
I did. I drove through Taco Bell, and they literally thought I was like some crackhead or something, because from far away, that's what it looked like. And
maybe you should have went in.
Yeah, it was kind of late though, so it was 10 o'clock, so I couldn't get in.
Better.
It would have been awesome if I went in.
Freaks come out at night.
I was about to go into like Walmart or something, right? But yeah, so
probably wouldn't have been the first one in Walmart.
No.
All right, should we get into this thing?
Which thing? Oh,
let's get into this past weekend at AmeriKick.
All right, let's get into that, and then we have someone who's already in our group. So whenever we're ready to let them in.
So let's fast track this thing first.
Yep.
Congratulations, Rashad! You didn't just win the grand; you won all of the form. You won everything.
3.
Everything.
Yep. He won 3 of them.
Everything.
Yep. 3 of the 4. So pretty awesome, man.
Yes.
Rashad Regine, great job, man. Congrats.
Way to go.
Awesome
super proud of him. Because I was
time out, because Alex, I don't want us to forget this, because we were supposed to talk about this last week and we didn't. 2 people we need to give shout outs to tomorrow night. Ross Levine's fight because I don't want us to forget. Karate Combat. If you have CBS Sports, it should be on that. If not, I think you can look up on their YouTube channel and they'll have it going live. So go out and support Ross. All right. And then in September, on the next Bellator card, Bobby Cerrone III. He grew up in the NBL. He was one of the original members of Team Proper. I've been telling everyone for a while, like, wait until he goes pro. And so I'm excited for that. It's going to be in San Jose. And
that's good.
Figure out how to watch his fights. I don't think he'll be on the main TV card, but he'll be on one of the prelims. So find a way to watch that either online or whatever. So yeah. Andrew just says 10 p.m. on CBS Sports for Ross. So
that's cool.
And that's Thursday. Tomorrow.
Well, I'm on top of that one.
So yeah. So all right, let's go ahead. But I didn't want us to forget that, because sometimes
that's good. That's good. So yeah, let's just go over that quick. Rashad dominated the men's forms.
And weapons. Yep.
And weapons. Listen.
He won traditional grands, CMX weapons grands. Sorry,
be mad at me if you want to, guys.
And then CMX forms.
I don't really care what happened from the women.
What?
I don't really care what happened with the women.
What do you mean? Oh, in the women's forms?
I don't care. Or fighting. I don't care.
Wow.
There was all right. Let me ask you a question. You say I'm a hater. Who was there? Who won?
Haley Glass and Sammy Smith were against each other. So there you go.
All right, never mind.
So shut your face.
I probably should have watched that. That would have been a good one. I guess I'm more just tainted from like the fighting. It was like, well, who is that? What does that even mean? You know what I'm saying?
Well, listen, I mean, there's more fighters coming up. Just because one person isn't there doesn't mean it's done. We got to build our people up.
That's what you just said, because one person. There's this one person, and then there's a mountain between.
Right. So those people have to build themselves up. So this was the first step for them to do that.
So there's nothing to talk about.
I would think it would be Mason. I would think it would be Mason Stowell, probably one. I didn't see it, so I'm not really sure.
All right.
Yes, the Sammy Haley showdown matters. I agree.
All right.
I agree.
Okay. You're right. Anyway, moving on. So Enrique Latona was basically his tournament.
Yeah, he
top 10 USA 1 team fighting.
Yep.
He came out of the lightweight side. I believe he won the open weight. And then he won the overall, like the open weight type. Right. Because they kind of put it together. That's right. That's true. They put it together in a tournament. And which, from the heavyweight side, for the VFT. Yeah, and he won the VFT champion. He came out on top of the 3 rounds over Darren Payne. Right. So it's his tournament. So there was a few things though. I'm watching him, and listen, let it be known, he still decided to take breaks and stop in matches. He totally did. All right. Okay. But the finishing power of his sidekick at the end of it, I mean, he's not throwing it like a jab. He's throwing it. He does a very good job. And what I'm most impressed with is that his finishing power is great without having to like cock it back and have a super powerful one. He does it the same way, just shooting it straight. All right. What's Andrew saying? Umena. Yeah, Umena won women's open weight and the overall grands. I still don't care. Right, have her fight Morgan. Then let me care. All right. All right. So does Bayley have some competition? Is what Sam is saying. I still don't think so. All right. Because the last couple times they fought, Bayley came out on top, and it wasn't that close. So Rick is going to have to do something. Maybe he can beat him for a diamond, but I doubt it. All right. So let's keep on the praise with Enrique though. Right. Very, very good job. I really thought Kevin Walker was going to beat him. I thought so. But I took notes on the fight with him and Tobias for the lightweight grand championship. Yeah. So at one point, Enrique stops to fix his foot pad without saying anything in between breaks. It was in between breaks, and he just stops and he starts fixing his foot pad with his hand. Right. I believe Nick Kane was the judge, a ref. I could be wrong, so don't crucify me if it wasn't Nick Kane. Right. So He stops. He's fixing his foot pad, and Tobias looks like he said go, and he's like, "For real?" Pow! Takes off and hits him, and then Enrique doesn't even like move. Right? He makes no movement. He's just like whatever. And then they wave off the point. They're like, no, he wasn't ready. And Tobias didn't really do anything about it.
Right.
Right? He was like, man. All right, whatever. Let's go.
Right.
And I would have been pissed. I'd have been like, that was his effing fault to choose to just stop and do nothing. He didn't say anything to anybody. He just decided to fix his foot pad. That's his damn fault. That's my point. Right?
Yeah.
Now, it was won by more than a point.
Yeah. It was more than that, but still.
But when you do things like that, though, you change the momentum. Like if you have the ability, because he didn't even say anything to refs.
Right.
That's how bad the influence has gotten.
Right.
He can literally just not even do a dang thing. Doesn't have to give a look. Mm-hmm. And the refs are like, no, come on. It's not fair. He wasn't ready. He chose to not be ready.
Right.
He knew what the rules were. He
Right.
knew what was happening.
He was going to take that.
He made an intentional
point,
choice. Right? Whatever.
It is supposed to be a point.
I think if the point would have went to Tobias, he'd have been like, yeah, got me. You know? But that's how bad his influence has gotten for like when he just goes down. And then after that, here's what happens. After that point, right? He hits him and he waves it off. Now, Enrique needs a moment to walk it off.
Mm-hmm.
So now he's manipulating the game. Mm-hmm. So the momentum is now totally in his in his favor. And I'm like, that's not fair.
Right.
That's not fair at all. Right. And
it's gamesmanship if you can play with the rules. But I mean, I get it.
Here's the flip side.
Yamena Yanero won the overall, Mike. And Kevin Walker was there.
Yeah. So in the fight with Kevin Walker, I thought, Kevin's leg was doing all right because Kevin's leg was coming up and over. It was stopping he was trying the hard side kick. Right. Kevin's leg would come around. I mean, Enrique had enough power where he was kind of knocking him off balance a little bit. But there was a few times where Kevin kind of tried that same tactic that Enrique tried, and it had the reverse effect. Mm-hmm. And hers is like, nah, Enrique, that's his point. That's Enrique's point. You know, and Kevin actually tried to say something, and they were just like, no, it's Enrique's point. His influence is so skewed that way now. So that left a little sour taste. It was like, but it's not really Enrique's fault. He didn't do anything wrong.
Listen, man, I think it doesn't really matter if you come out and you won everything at a tournament. You did something right. And
I'm not faulting him because I've done things where I've intentionally blitzed someone in the arm, knowing this ref is going to give me the point. I think I mentioned that.
Yeah, I remember that.
Right.
Yeah.
So what are you going to do? I'm not faulting him. I'm just like, refs, step up. Look, you have two eyes. You just saw what happened. Don't pretend like you didn't just do. You said stop for a reason. You didn't say stop when a blitz happened to not give a point.
Right.
Right. You knew what was happening, and then you chose that. So that's why I'm like, come on now. Right? It's not equal.
Yeah.
So I watched a couple other matches.
Okay.
One of them was I watched some of Cam's fights. All right.
Okay.
So yeah. So in Cam's first fight, and this is one point where Cam, this is the fun. I had to write this down. It's so funny. Cam clashes with this dude from Leclerc.
Uh-huh.
They both just take off, whether it was blitzes or just step in punches. They hit each other at the same time. It was a legit clash. Like I remember watching it going like, all right, yeah, that's no point. The dude's headgear was literally turned around 180 degrees. And I remember like being like pausing, going like, two things. Number one, how's that possible? Number two, this is freaking hilarious. Yeah. Right? This is awesome. Never seen anything like that before. Because it'd be like one thing where like someone like grabs the head, punches the head. Like there was just a legit clash. So I was just like, this is interesting. So, but the other thing is he was very flat. Right? So I'm like, ooh, there's signs for people that he could be scored on here. Like he's letting these things happen.
Mm-hmm.
But then the Cam versus Ant fight was totally different.
Yeah, it was completely different.
Totally changed. Right. Now in that fight, though,
I mean,
that
domination.
When you watch the fight,
yeah,
what was your take on that fight? I might have a different one than you.
I just thought he was just in complete control. The way I looked. I mean, there were some
feel
times.
The same. Yep.
I mean, there were some times where I don't know, like even when it looked like we've seen Ant be down, and it's like, all right, he's going to be on the comeback, and it was like he got that point, and then immediately just shut it down. So I mean, it really wasn't that long of a fight because he won by the 7-point spread, right? I think it was a minute 20 or something running time. So
yeah. So my take on the match was it ended the way it should have.
Right.
But the calls were like totally off.
Got it.
100% off.
I didn't get
I remember thinking
I didn't
like
get to really sit and examine it, like I was driving or not driving, but like in between things, so
that's the problem with point fights. Is when you're watching a point fight or even forms, right? In sport karate, you cannot look away. You have to be glued every moment to the thing that's happening. Right. So that's even why I'm like, when I'm talking about like the women, I know if I watch this, I have to watch each and every second. Mm-hmm. Right. True. So I look at what's going on and I'm like, I know I'm not going to enjoy this. 20 seconds in, I'm going to regret being there and I'm going to have to finish it.
Wow. Hater.
What do you want me to do?
Just watch. I'm sure there's some good fighting going
on. Be a good fighter. Win. Do something notable. I'm not like saying there's a reason why we're like, where's Katana? Because we all know Katana's done notable things. Katana could go out there and make noise. There's a reason why we're saying these things.
Right. No,
right?
I get it.
If we're like, you
but it sounds like right now there's some new ones. There's new ones trying to come up. So
great. So come up. Do something. I'm not entertained. By any of it right now. I'm just not.
Right.
Whatever. Anyway, so with the Ant fight, Ant and Cam, so there was I remember seeing clashes. There were just clashes that I thought, oh, that's clearly one way or the other, and then a point that should have been one way or the other. But I'm keeping track myself, and it still should have been Cam, right?
Right.
But I just don't understand it. Like, what are we doing? Like as refs, like there's clearly no.
Right.
All right, I'm gonna. Well,
we talked about it,
but I'm gonna try not to.
Yeah.
Right, because we got a guest coming in here in a second. So I remember having this conversation with somebody, and there was all right, someone blitzes, someone defensive side kicks. All right, you just go like this. It could just be a guess, right? But both people can be hit, and it can go one way or the other, legitimately. All right. So I try to use this analogy of like baseball, and I don't even like baseball. Right. If a runner steals second, okay, but the tag gets there at the same time,
right?
Is the runner out or is the runner safe? I'm asking. Okay, I'll tell you.
It goes to the runner.
So. Right. The rule is the tie goes to the runner.
Right.
In this scenario that I'm bringing up, the person blitzing is the runner.
Right.
Okay. So this is like, probably like 10 years ago, Johnny Tension was leading the pack of like, those are just chambers, and I won't disagree with him. Right. Because if he blitzes and I chamber and he's pushing me back, why should I get that?
Why should I get? Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
However, if we're both coming and I side kick, I've hit you, and now you push through the side kick. Well, you've already been hit. Right. And the rule is who hits first scores. Right. So I've already done my job. Now you come after I've made contact to hit me. I don't particularly care. So it's like there can be a scenario where both people get hit, and it can go one way or the other. Right. It does depend on the scenario. It really does. So this is kind of when I say like I don't understand what they're doing now. There is literally and that exact description that I brought out was probably never been talked about. Never.
Oh yeah.
And it is one of the most important scenarios that I just brought up.
It is. It is.
Cam's back fist though for the weekend is just incredibly fast.
Yeah.
It's just it and Ant lacked anything that would give Cam a reason to pause.
No.
He just
exactly.
didn't. He had nothing to give him. So Cam really could kind of just I could tell Cam figured it out like 10 seconds into the match. He was like, I've got this thing. Right.
Yep.
There was a lot of great fighters there. I liked what James Poor brought.
Yeah, it was cool to see him back, man.
Very fast.
Had a great.
He's good. All right.
He has a
but
great
that Tobias kid.
kick.
One time, Tobias is going to beat whoever comes out of the lightweight. He's going to be the lightweight winner.
Yeah.
And we could see a scenario where he ends up being the lightweight overall champion. And we go, well, some might go, who the heck is this kid? You know, how is he the lightweight winner? You know, it is incredible.
I really
totally
like
possible.
Kid. Yeah, I really like him, man. He's in a good camp. He's working hard and he's going to events.
Who does he train with?
I don't know. Someone else.
When you say he's in a good camp, like what do you mean?
He's an all-star, so I mean, that's what I'm talking about. Mostly.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I see. I see what you're saying.
But let's get into who else that you want to talk about. Darren Payne. Yeah.
Darren Payne was my favorite fighter for the weekend. Right. I'm watching Darren Payne fight. First of all, I didn't think he was as heavy as he is. Right.
Yeah. No.
I didn't think he was in the 170s or the 180s. I thought he was like in the 160s. Right.
Right.
But he's taller. I think he may be like 6'1". Is he 6'1"? Something like that. Right.
Possibly. Yeah.
He could be. So I'm like, oh, all right, it makes sense. Right. But he's his leg was good. Right. Yeah. And listen, if you show good front leg, I'm probably gonna say something good about it.
Right. Of course. Yeah, that's what we joked about.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh well, you know, if you have a good
on the other side, which I'll mention, if you had a good kick and you fall off,
yeah,
I'm gonna notice right away Brian Rodriguez, right? Brian Rodriguez versus Darren Payne. That was the first match. I'm like, ooh, this is gonna be good, and it was over quick. Right? Darren's faster than him, and Darren's got a better blitz. And Brian Rodriguez, I hope for him it changes. I have not seen him kick above the shoulder in 2 years.
Hey, yeah,
has not happened. I've not seen him kick above the. Go back and watch all 3 rounds of Brian Rodriguez and Brandon Balu. He might of all 3 rounds might have in the first round kicked above his shoulder and like twice. That's 0 times. Now Darren's leg was going. So what that's and he was moving it up. So that's forcing Brian to go back. Well, now you have no advantage because Darren's longer than you. He's faster than you. What would you say you're doing here? Right? So you're supposed to be a good kicker and you weren't. So listen, been there, and you just got to kind of. And sometimes what we do is we go back and we got to go like, all right, I was resting on what I was able to do in the past without training on that specifically. Now I got to shift gears. All right, get into that a lot more. Ugh, I get it. All right, had to do that after a broken leg, so I understand it. Right. But he ain't there right now. He's not. All right, his kick is coming up here at best.
Right. So
if he fought Avery Plowden, I don't think he'd score a point. I don't think.
Yeah, because that's what you got to do with Avery. So
it's already been known. No, it's already been known. You can't kick above the shoulder, right? So if Avery's right here in that L guard, anytime Brian picks his leg up, he's going to get hit.
Right.
He will be hit every time. Right. In a match like that, right? Because you're not a threat to do anything with it. It doesn't have a lot of power. So all you're doing is you're not able to defend yourself the same way because you're on one foot. You're just opening yourself up to get destroyed because you have no offensive threat. That's how Darren made short work of him.
Right.
Now.
All right. So what you were trying to say is he needs to change it up, right?
It's very simple. Okay. It's simple but not easy.
Get to your point. You take forever. We're trying to get a guest from here.
All right. Anyway, congratulations, Darren Payne. All right.
Yes.
Let's get to that.
Payne killed it.
Congratulations, Darren Payne. I was really impressed with him. The way he was able to manipulate his foot. All right. Didn't end up his way. The way that Enrique was able to get behind him in the VFT fight, I think was the difference maker. The fact that he could get, as he was kicking, Enrique was able to get behind Darren.
Right.
And that was one of the difference makers there. But yeah, let's get our guest.
It was a great fight. Yep, let's do it.
Let's bring him in. Excited for this one.
Mine left already.
And look who it is.
Can't even see him.
Look who it is.
No, we can't see you very well. It's a
No,
little
you're not
dark.
supposed to see me. You're supposed to see me?
Well, it would be ideal. I mean, let's see that beautiful beard.
Yeah, all right.
There
we
go.
It's great. How's that?
That's all right.
What's up, Joe? How you doing, my friend?
How's it going, guys?
Ladies and gentlemen, we have Joe Greenhaw here.
I don't know who he is.
I would love to get. We
whatever.
were just talking about the AmeriKick. Were you at AmeriKick?
No.
Okay, but you had people who were there, and you were following the event. What was your take on
I had
the
some
event?
kids that were there. On the event, I wasn't there, so I really can't, give you my take. I can tell you that I had some of my people complain.
Tell me about it.
About some judging. Listen, I'm not here to complain about AmeriKick. So I'm going to complain about the New England Open.
All right, let's hear it.
How about that?
Yes, sir.
Well, I'd love to hear this.
So the first thing is, in the NASCAR rules, you're supposed to split the tall and the short black belt divisions, one. And at the New England Open, they split the boys, but the girls, they didn't split them. And my girl, who was only 5 foot tall,
your own tournament? This happened at your tournament?
Yeah, my tournament. Just listen to me. Listen, I'm not gonna. This happens at every tournament. It doesn't just happen at one. It happens every tournament. And if I'm present, I'm the guy that goes, hey, we got to split this. And they're like, oh, no, she signed up for short. She's 5'9". This girl's 5 foot. She doesn't belong in the short. And I make a big stink about it. And, of course, they go, Greenall's over there complaining again. Now, well, no, listen. The rules are you line them up, you split them. If there's 8 girls and 6 of them are 5'9", and one of them's 5 foot tall, and 2 of them are 5 foot tall, the 2 that are 5 foot tall are in the short division. The rest are in the tall.
Right.
1. That's the rule. Okay. So they did it. We do it for the boys, but we don't do it for the girls. So you wonder why we have no girls.
Right.
Exactly.
Listen. In the forms and weapons divisions, there's no criteria.
Nope.
There's just nothing. There are people doing extreme forms or extreme weapons, doing an aerial and beating people that are doing 5 or 6 techniques.
Right.
That's bull. You know what? It's bull.
Oh,
we have no criteria. Same thing in forms. We have no criteria. Can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Yo, can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, we got you.
Hello.
Joe, go for it.
Okay.
We got you.
Okay, so I'm not here to complain about one particular event or another event. I'm here 30 years into NASCAR, a sport that I love. I love NASCAR, and it's not getting fixed.
Right, it's not improving.
You have people that are great. They're great forms competitors or great weapons competitors, and they leave our league. They leave us. And what do? They go do another sport, or they just don't bother competing anymore in NASCAR. They don't bother competing. It just doesn't happen. It's a shame.
Well, yeah.
So we asked this to a lot of people, like, where do you think this is going? Where do you think?
Going?
Well,
that's a loaded. Anywhere.
It's a loaded question.
Right.
It's
So
not going anywhere.
Well, I don't mean the problem. What I mean is the sport. The sport.
The sport's not going anywhere. I wish with all my heart. I wish with my kids. I wish with the students that I have. I wish that, and it's not a doubt in my mind that this could be bigger than a lot of other sports.
Right.
It's just not going to go anywhere. Fighting is the judge. So it's my opinion. I've had this conversation with Jeff before.
Yeah.
I believe that if you have a good ref on one side and a good ref on the other side, you only need two good referees to judge point fighting. If you
Right.
have two judges that have integrity and know what they're doing, one judge can call a point if he knows what he's doing.
Yep.
One judge. He
Yep.
sees it. He saw it. He has integrity. He's not going to cheat. He don't care if you're Raymond Daniels, Bayley Murphy, Brandon Ballou, Brian. He don't care. He's going to call the point. And the other guy might call the other way, which means there's no point. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You're getting kicked in the arm and calling points. That's why people don't come back and fight.
Exactly.
We're not offering them anything. There are good promoters out there that used to have good events that aren't doing events anymore.
Mm-hmm.
Listen, I would love to run the New England Open again. Love to.
Yes.
Yeah, it's just not in the forecast. I'm not a guy that they want in there, or they got excuses why they don't want me in there. It's okay. You don't want me in there, it's okay.
Well, what do you mean by that?
I still love NASCAR.
Like they don't want you in. Like you don't play the game, or
I've
what
been
is
asking for a year.
You've been asking to go back.
I don't know.
Right.
So for all of
I've
us,
been asking to come back. I've been asking.
For all of us wanting the New England
and I've
Open
been asking
back.
to come back. Yeah, well.
Wow.
Yeah.
I've been wanting it back. I've been wanting to come back, and I get, oh, we got to have a vote, or we got to put it out there and see what everybody says. Well, that's baloney, because Charlie Lane didn't have his event a couple times and came back. And nobody put it to a vote. Nobody put it.
Right.
He just wanted to come back. He got to come back.
And that's not a knock on Charlie Lane.
I had a swine flu first. No, it's not a knock on anybody.
No, it's just
it's
a
not
knock
a
on the
knock at all.
system. Yeah.
Just an
I
example.
had the swine. It's a knock on the sport, right?
Yep. Yep.
I had the swine flu at my tournament. One of the first or second years, I lost $30,000. Lost. Did I not pay? No. I went and remortgaged my house, and I paid all my bills.
Wow.
I didn't stiff anybody.
Right.
I don't stiff people. You have to. We're martial arts people. We're supposed to have integrity.
Integrity. Yep.
There's a lot of that missing. A lot of it is missing in martial arts. It's a shame.
Yes, sir. It is. It definitely is.
It's a shame. It's turning into a money thing, and you're not going to make any money if you don't have a customer.
Right.
Right.
We're driving customers away. They don't even make it to the adult division. They're leaving us.
And I think
that's one of the biggest problems we have, Joe, is they're not even making it.
Listen, creative forms. People don't even kick anymore.
Right.
Are you kidding me? Yeah, we don't even kick. We're karate people. We don't even kick. Are you kidding me?
Right.
Are you kidding me?
So there has to be criteria that makes it where you have to kick.
There needs criteria. Listen, and you know what? We had a whole year off. It should have been done. Listen, if you're doing creative forms, you need to have a 3 or 4 kick combination. It has to consist of this kick, this kick, this kick. If you're doing extreme, you need to have a flash kick, a 540, an aerial, or whatever. Or you can't do extreme. You got kids in there doing extremes, and you know what? Is it any fault of the kid? No, it's the fault of the judges.
Yep.
Because judges don't know any better.
Right.
And Jeff, I had this conversation. I truly believe if you have a judge that has integrity,
yes, sir,
you only need one judge.
Yep. You and I agree on that. Alex thinks we're crazy, but if you have a judge that has integrity,
Alex, listen to me. I'll sit down with you at any of the NASCAR tournaments, even at the Diamonds. I'll sit down with you, and we'll do a division, and I'll sit there and judge it all by myself with you, and I'll tell you who gets first, second, third, and fourth place. I'll tell you. And I'll bet you $500 I'm damn close.
Yep.
I'll bet I'm damn close.
See, here's the problem.
You
have a way of
there's
telling
no problem.
this. I know that. That's the problem. You have a way of telling me something that I want, because when Jeff said the exact same thing, I looked at him like he had two heads. I'm like, you're a special kind of crazy. There's no way. And the way you're saying it, I'm like,
yeah, there is.
Maybe.
Well, all right. Well, here's the deal. I'm saying what I said is for us to get to a point where we have real professional judges, certified
judges. Absolutely.
We have to break it down to where we have less and we can afford to give them what they deserve. So, and then you have great people at each ring. I'd rather have one great judge than three crappy judges. I mean,
exactly.
It's so bad right now. We're just getting whatever we can just to show up. And I mean, all the terms like this.
I don't understand.
Go ahead.
No, go ahead. Go ahead.
I'm just saying this weekend, it's just like,
no, go ahead.
I went to a local tournament and it was just, again, like, oh, we got 10th Dan here. We have 9th Dan here. I'm like, oh my God. Okay. I love what they do and respect them as martial artists, but that doesn't mean it makes you a great judge. So.
That's absolutely right. Same thing with fighters. Just because you're a good fighter doesn't make you a good judge. I'm sorry. And I truly believe, Alex, you can have two qualified officials watching a fight, one on one side and one on the other, and call the fight correctly.
Right.
Or you could have one good official on one side and two bad officials on the other, and the two bad officials ruin the whole damn thing.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
And guys taking their gloves off and they're like, I ain't coming back here no more. I'm not doing this shit anymore. I'm just not doing it. Why?
And I think the problem that people don't understand is when customers get to the point where they're like, I'm not doing this anymore. When people hear that, I'm sure they think they're not coming back to that tournament anymore. No, they may not compete anymore. In fact, they may not even do martial arts anymore. Correct. So what they're really doing is screwing the instructor who brought them there. Right. So now you're actually giving some legitimacy to people who say, we're not doing tournaments anymore.
Correct.
Right.
Joe,
crazy as that sounds.
Yeah, they are. They're walking away. Joe,
listen.
Go ahead, Joe. Oh, well, Andrew was saying the concept of certified judges has been discussed for over 20 years. Why hasn't it happened?
Yeah, you tell me. I sit in meetings. I've sat in meetings.
Exactly.
You tell me.
I think
because
people want to sit and wait.
You want me to tell you why I think? You want me to tell you why I think?
Yeah.
Yes.
Really?
Yes.
I think because we're a bunch of guys that are not working as a team to grow and love the sport that we love, to help it grow. We're all working as individuals and not working as a league or as a team, as a martial arts community, to try and grow a sport that there's no better sport, man. I'm telling you, there's not a better sport out there. These kids that are doing these extreme stuff with the bows and listen, you can listen. I'm going to just say his name, Jackson Rudolph. I've had people tell me, he's nothing but a baton twirler. And I'll be like, really? I said, let me ask you a question. Have you ever judged him? No. Oh, you've never judged him, but he's a baton twirler. I'm like, let me just tell you, I've judged a kid. And believe me, I've had some, he does a lot of tricks. I love the bow too. I love the bow. My kids did the bow.
Yeah.
But I've sat and I've judged Jackson. And damn, I want to give the kid an 11. He's just so good. I've judged his division. 9 guys in the division. 8 of them all drop. He's last. I'm like, he's just gonna do 3 strikes and he's gonna bow and he's gonna win. Right. No, he's doing triple spins. And he strikes I make his bow. He strikes that bow harder than most people I know.
Right.
The
He ain't
guy
lying.
can strike, man. The guy, he's a phenomenal.
He is.
He's
a great martial
phenomenal. So when
artist.
people tell me, "Oh, Jackson Rudolph's a baton twirler," I tell them, "Yeah, you're not full of baloney, man, because that guy's phenomenal. He's really, really good." So,
Right.
that's just Jackson. A judge gave Jackson a bad score a couple years ago. Jackson was like, "Excuse me, can you tell me why you gave me such a low score?" He goes, "You do the same form all the time." I'm like,
That's freaking
"Are you
amazing.
shitting me?"
Yeah.
It's freaking amazing.
So you know what he did? You know what Jackson did? Jackson went to tournament after tournament doing a different form for almost a whole year.
Right.
I see. It's just,
Yeah.
man, it's a great sport. It needs to evolve. And if we don't evolve, it's just going to stay a backyard sport that it is.
So, Joe, I feel like, this question for me, when I've been asked or I've been in meetings about certified judging, it wasn't ever, what can we do to make this happen? It was, this is why it can't happen. This is why it won't happen. It was always, well, we don't have the money to do this. We can't afford this, or this is what we need to have it. And until we get this, we can't make it happen. So it's always a negative mindset that wants to keep us at this level.
Yeah. You don't need money.
Right.
And you need training.
Ultimately, I think as a sport, we would love to be where we were 40 years ago.
Oh, what a sport.
We would love to be where we were 35 years ago. We would love to be there.
Yeah.
I
love the sport.
Soak that in. That's where we're trying to get to.
Right. Yeah, I mean, it's now again, some of the things that happened in that time are why we are here. You know what I mean? So the money didn't get put back into the sport. You know, the
absolutely did
sponsorships
not.
that we had, it didn't get put back into the actual sport. So
nope.
You know, like the whole Budweiser thing only lasts like 2 years. You know, and what a lot of people don't tell you, there wasn't really that huge of events because
they spent the money.
They spent the money, and just about the top 8 to 10 people went. You know, so there's things like that you know we love seeing it, but as far as that money for that, it only went to those few people. So yeah. But yeah, I mean, Joe, I agree, man.
Listen, here's another thing.
Go ahead.
Listen to me. Let's just 1 minute, right? Like you take let's take 10 and 11 black belt fighters, kids, right? 10, 11-year-old kids. Sometimes there's maybe we'll say 20 kids in the short and the tall total, right? So 10 in the short and 10 in the tall, right? How about if you go to the 10, 11 beginner or intermediate divisions and tell me how many kids there are in there? If there's 20 kids, how come there's no tall and short there?
Right. Yeah.
Why is there no tall and short? Those, that's our money. That's where your money comes from.
That's where it needs to be at. Yeah.
That is where your money is. It's where it needs to be. But nobody cares about the underbelts. They only want to have. Listen, do I want to have great people on my nighttime show? Of course I do. You know, and that's all we're concerned about. Who's the best? We get the best people here. We'll be no. You need those underbelts. And
so you can create
the one thing that I did lack at my tournament always was. Absolutely.
Yep.
Absolutely. You need to bring people in that are good kickers like Jeff Doss to say, here's the criteria. This is what we're looking for. You need to do a stationary kick in creative forms. It can be side, hook round, axe, or side, hook round, whatever the combination is. You need to do it on either leg. It doesn't matter. You need to do this. You need to do that. And everybody's going to be like, oh, boy, I got to get to work now. And you know what? You might see different people winning.
Right.
You know what's funny about that? What's funny about that, Joe, is when the NBL rule of you had to have 3 kicks in a row, people giggled at that, and they were just like, let's just first thing in the form, get the 3 kicks out of the way, just do 3 kicks, and then do my NASCA form.
Right.
right?
Yeah.
But here's the deal, Alex. The ones that did it and excelled at it, they got a higher score in that criteria.
And
than
that's
them.
where I
Yes,
was
they
going to
did.
go with that.
So
That's where I was going to go.
Yeah.
So they still stood out.
What the other thing I really kind of liked about what NBL did with that is they had a trick. I mean, I liked it, and then I didn't. I was like, I don't know how I feel about this. They had a trick maximum, right, Jeff?
Yeah.
It was like a 7 trick maximum.
Well, it was a flip maximum, gymnastics maximum. So
Okay.
meaning like, if you're gonna go upside down, that
Right.
Now like a B twist would not, because that's actually a martial arts technique, right? So things like that
Which
didn't
shouldn't
count
be an
for
extreme.
that. So right.
Think about that. That move shouldn't be an extreme.
Right. I mean,
Right, Joe?
Whatever. I mean, I don't care what you're probably right, but I don't care what it is. But we need to have a criteria and a curriculum. So that people know what you have to do. And not a 3-kick combination where you stand up and go, kick, kick, kick. Okay, I did my 3 kicks. No. You need to have, just like in gymnastics, you need to have a hook round. You need to have an axe kick. You need to have a round hook round. You need to have certain kicks in creative forms. That's what makes it creative. That's what makes it martial arts.
Right.
These kids today are just doing chop, punch, chop, punch, chop, 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 punch, 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 fingers out. Oh, okay, look at it. It's just, oh, man. It's
man. Yeah, I mean,
let's do this.
I
feel like there's not a criteria, Joe.
I know.
Yeah. I feel like
it's
the
like
criteria
judging,
is you can't do this. That's it. Instead of what you should do, and that doesn't really help.
Yeah.
But wait a minute. I'm going to get Joe to say something positive. Just wait a minute. I was thinking about this past weekend. No, I'm going to. I was thinking about this past weekend as I'm watching some of the fights. And I'm watching the fights, and I come to a realization. I'm like, I can't come back. I can't come back at Fight 18 Plus. These guys would make short work of me. Like, there is nobody who.
Why? Because they're so fast.
You said it.
Yeah.
There's nobody who can just kick. Like, even when you say like Enrique Latona, guy was just like drilling guys in the back of the head when he would come in on follow-ups. All right.
Yeah.
And there is nobody really in the 18 plus who's just punching. The talent level as a whole is as high in the men's fighting.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yep.
It is.
And I'm looking at the talent.
Except in the heavyweight division, because Cam Dawson is above and beyond the majority of heavyweight fighters.
Right.
Yep.
That guy should be doing karate. He should be doing karate combat or Bellator. Or he is that talented of a fighter.
You're not lying.
Agreed.
He's a very talented fighter. And listen, a couple of my guys, Brandon, a couple of even Bayley's talked to me about moving on and doing karate combat. And I'm like, I said, if you want to do that. I said, but right now, I said, you guys are in the top of your game. You go to these tournaments on the weekends. You can win yourself. Used to be 1,000. Now it's 500 or whatever. And when it should be more than that, it should be more money.
It should be.
Right.
It should be. I don't believe in going backwards.
It's not lower.
I believe in going forward.
Exactly. I mean, the amount of competitors isn't that much lower, and in some tournaments, it's like
higher.
It's higher. They had 30 in open weight this weekend. Like, come on.
You're not enticing them to want to go. You should be doing everything you can to get people to come back.
But the problem is
take a loss.
The problem is they're going to get everyone, Alex, to come back so that we say, get the numbers up so that way we can give you more money. And they're like, they're coming already without us giving them more money. And so
now they're never. That's what I said. That's what I said from the start, right, Jeff? And I said this will never go back up now.
They need to get Andrew. They got to bring divisional prize money back. I agree. I think that was one of the worst.
It has to.
Yep.
There's changes that need to be made because the sport right now is in a good place. The virtual karate stuff was good because it got people interested and people think that, hey, you know what? Maybe I can do this, or maybe I can go to two of these tournaments and get involved, and I could do this stuff, and that's what you want, and you want them to have a great experience.
Yes.
These underbelt kids that are coming in, because there's not a lot of them
No.
There's just not a lot of it because these guys that have these, screw it, these McDojos that are giving away belts, their black belts can't compete with the intermediate belts. They're that
Right.
bad. So it just, the kids in the underbelts division, man, split those divisions. Give them a reason to change. Give them a reason to change, do work. Give them a reason to be competitive. It's terrible. Listen, the kid Ben, whatever his name is, the kid with the bow.
Yeah, Ben
Jones.
Oh my Lord! I watched his form this weekend. It was phenomenal.
It was awesome.
But you know what? If the kid makes a mistake, I give him a 9.5.
Right. Yeah, and it's a small, tiny mistake. It's like, come on.
Right.
It's crazy.
You can't tell a kid like that. Hey, listen, I saw your form last week. It was better last week than it was this week. That's why I gave you a 9.5. Are you kidding me? You can't do that. You just can't do that, man. You got to judge me on what I'm doing against these knuckleheads today.
Oh,
that's what you got to do. You got to judge me on what I'm doing today. This is what you judge me on.
I've seen you do this better before.
Right.
Well, that was before.
That was before.
We're talking about today.
Now. This is what we're doing now.
Exactly.
The girls, the women, there's not as many women. But you know what? There's less women because we're not treating them fairly.
Mm-hmm.
You got to treat them fairly. You got to give them an incentive to come back.
There's no reason why they.
There's no reason for them to come back. Why do they have to come back?
Right.
The only reason why some would stick around and go to it is if they were just like, you know what, and it would be a rare breed to go, I'm going to beat Morgan Plowden. That's going to happen, and I'm going to do it.
I got a woman in my school. I keep telling her, Dana, please come out. Please, I think you can be it. I think you can do it. I think you can be number one. I think you can be the best. And she's like, how much do I get if I win? I go, $1,000. She goes, that's not a lot. I go, yeah, you're right. I said, but you got to come out, and this girl's the best in the world, and you want to beat the best in the world. You can just do it. Even Nikki Pellin, she just had a baby. She's training hard.
Right.
She's training her butt off. She wants to beat her too.
Wow. Congratulations, Nikki Pellin.
Awesome. Yeah.
I mean, I give her a lot of credit. She's lost like 50, 60 pounds.
Wow.
She'll be out soon, but
that's like all of the baby weight and some.
It's terrible. It's just terrible.
Yeah.
And the problem is judging, period. The problem is judging.
Judging an organization. I mean, well, and I think even bigger than that, Joe, and we've had conversations. I know you get frustrated because so many people say all this on Facebook and then nothing ever happens. Yep. And the reason why is because everyone thinks they have to go to NASCA to get them to do it. No. What I've been saying, let's just create the criteria just to have the criteria ready, and then whatever happens from there, happens from there. At least we have something done, right?
Exactly. That's what should happen.
So, I mean, the minds that want to actually do this, they got to get together, and then they can present it to whoever they want to present it to.
Yeah, good luck with that.
Yeah.
I got a question. So, Joe, I know that you are a NASCA guy, and you love NASCA. I know that. And I know you love it because it's the best, and you want to be a part of the best, and you want that to flourish. I know that.
Yep.
But if you're not allowed to have an event for whatever reason or no reason, would you ever just host the New England Open as just an independent tournament? Have you ever thought about that?
Yeah, I've thought about it. Listen, I worked hard. I work hard with G-Force.
Yeah.
I've thought about doing a New England Open, just me alone, just no sponsors, just maybe G-Force sponsor. The problem I have is I don't have any help.
Right.
Most of these guys have a staff. I have a very small school of very talented people, but it doesn't make money. My school never has made money.
Right.
I always did it because I loved it. I'm passionate about it. People that want to be champions, those are the people I want to train. If you don't want to be a champion, well, I'm really not interested.
Right.
If you don't want to see how good you really can be, I'm not really interested.
Yeah.
I've had people come in all the time. I go, what are you looking for? Are you looking for a belt or what is it you're looking for? And they're like, well, the guy down the street, he's an 8th degree, and he promised me a black belt in less than 3 years. I'm like, you need to go there then.
Yeah.
That's where you need to go. I mean,
Yep.
if somebody's promising you a black belt in less than 3 years, whether you go or you don't, you need to go there, because I'm not going to do that with you.
Right.
I mean, you call it sport karate. I call it sport karate what I teach, but to me, it's when you throw a front ball kick in my school, it's a front ball kick. And you throw a side kick in my school, it better look like a damn side kick. It better look like the kick you're saying it's going to be, or we're going to have a real problem. Because I have a lot of integrity. I'm proud of people that wear my uniform. I'm proud of what I've taught people, and I'm proud of those things. It says my name. It represents me. There are some phenomenal, real nice people in NASCAR. Real nice people.
Yeah.
Some of the best people I've ever met in life.
And their kids are really good. But I know some people that are going to walk soon if things don't get fixed.
Yep.
And then what? And then you know what they say? They say, well, somebody else will step up. Bullshit.
Yeah.
Somebody will, but then in a couple of years,
they'll leave again.
It'll be half the attendance.
Right.
At all the events.
Yep.
And they won't be as good.
Nope. Because they won't have those people to train or lead by example, lead the others by example and how to do it right. Yep. So, and that's the biggest issue. And I mean, that's what happened, honestly, with the NBL. Just more and more top tournaments kept leaving and saying, man, this is just too much, and nothing really changed. So, and that's what happened. But, so,
listen, nothing for nothing. Boyce had a great concept.
Yep.
Yeah.
Just,
he's his own worst enemy.
Right. Yep.
Yep.
Yeah, I mean, we're getting lots of comments. We got like over 100.
5 more comments than we've had in
a while. So months.
I'm sorry.
Just says people are getting tired. I just said we're getting a lot of comments, Joe. Just lots of people are reaching out. Yeah, and no,
they're all great. Everybody's giving you praise.
Yeah, man.
That's Chris Walker was saying, "What's up, Mr. G?"
Yep.
A lot of people are, like Jeannie Jones has jumped in. She said, and I agree with her. She goes, "Just put the call out. I bet people will come."
Yeah, we'll help you
as far as
helping with your tournament. Yep.
I agree with her.
She said,
"I bet if you put the call out, and as genuine as a person as you are, I bet they'd come."
Yeah, I think so.
That would be really nice.
Yep. Yeah, man, Nick, you're right. There isn't a person that loves the sport more than Mr. G. The passion is unmatched. Love it.
Thank you much. True. I really appreciate that.
Yeah.
But we need to fix it. If these other guys don't want to do it, then somebody needs to step in and fix it.
Yep.
Shad said the voice of the heroes.
You guys are young. You're the guys, man.
Right. Yeah, and and the thing is, Joe, like everyone wants to, you to have your tournament. But again, what you're trying to say is it's more than that, right? We got to fix the sport. We got to fix the sport.
Absolutely.
And again, the ones that really want to, they need to get together and start doing something to change it. So not just talking on Facebook anymore. We got to start putting something to action.
Yeah.
So
I mean, it is what it is. You can't go to one event and the judging be good and the money be good, and go to another event and the judging be bad and there's no money.
Exactly.
What do you mean there's no money?
Right. I mean, it doesn't, that overall, like, that was always the thing with me. It's like, yeah, I want to have a great event for the sport, but I can't just only focus on my event, because then I just have a good event. But everyone else around us won't help. And so my event will just stay where it's at. It'll stay as a good event instead of become a better event. Because when my event's great, then the next one after it should be even better. Next one after it should be even better. We can't keep going and going. So
you need a group of guys that get together and they have the same passion and they put the same amount of work or money or whatever it is you can bring to the table to make the sport better. Some people can bring money. Some people can bring passion and ideas. And some people can bring computers and mats. And some people can, when I did my
I really think in 2022 you need to have the New England Open. I think here's what I genuinely feel. I feel if you just decide the New England Open is happening, right?
Yeah.
And you get some momentum behind you, one of two things is going to happen. Either NASCAR is going to say, okay, you can come back. Or they're going to say, no, we're not going to support you. But the people, it's the people.
Right.
The people will.
Yeah. You really think that?
I wholeheartedly believe that. Joe, I really believe that. Jeff, what do you think?
Oh, I agree. I mean, that it's been proven with people, that have gone on and done it on their own, So I definitely
didn't think the show was going to go this way. I had no idea.
Right.
I never know. I never know how the show.
Well, we never know how the show's going to go. So.
Well, you shouldn't. It should be It should be a free flowing thing. It should.
Exactly.
Whatever happens, happens. Whatever comes up should come up.
Exactly.
I mean, some people can listen. You can talk bad about Joe Greenhall, or you can talk bad about Jeff Doss, or me. I've had some great experiences with some of these guys, but just some of them are in it for the wrong reason.
Right.
And they're just biding their time, and they really don't want to change. And you have to evolve because the sport has evolved. Kudos for Jesse and his VFT. I really wish Josh's thing would have taken off. I really.
What did you think is what held that back? Because I thought that had some legs. What did you think held that back?
You really want me to tell you the truth?
Yeah, because I have an opinion, but I'm curious.
Yeah.
Oh, man, we're gonna get.
I think Josh listened to too many people and made too many changes too quickly. I think he just listened to too many people, and he made changes. Each event he was making a change, instead of saying, "Okay, this is season 1. This is what we're doing in season 1. Season 2, we're going to make changes." But
that's a very good point.
Yeah,
I just think he made too many changes.
My idea was actually a lot more drastic. I was saying I thought he should have just went get the boxing commission involved and go total full contact. Get them sanctioned and then just go total full contact.
Yeah.
Here we go.
Yeah.
And now there's a legitimate jump. Like if you want to go to the next level, it is what the name is. Pro point.
Right.
Yeah.
But that's kind of what I thought. I thought this is logical.
And the no knockout thing didn't help him either.
No, that's what took it away. And I get why he did it.
Right.
Because he didn't want to get stuck by the boxing commission because they're the freaking mafia.
You're right. You're right. He should have brought him right in.
Right.
But if you bring him in, then you got nothing to worry about.
Right.
You're right. You're absolutely right there.
Yep. It's the truth, man. It has to be that way.
Yeah, I was saying it not to knock it. I was saying it to be like,
exactly.
Look at what it could be.
Right.
This could be the next big thing.
You're absolutely right.
Agreed. I have seen a few people that I thought were done with karate, though, like doing tournaments locally, that started competing because of the possibility of doing something like a VFT or a pro point. And I saw some people kind of. So I think they're doing a good job at that. There's people that haven't really been able to get out of their state much to compete, but have been able to fight on those cards. So that's been a great thing, and I hope that when because right now we're pretty much back into the full swing of things with the sport.
Absolutely.
But that could work together, because that's my only thing is like I want to see the next pay-per-view during all of this, and we haven't. I love how Jesse is working with the tournaments to do the champions thing, but I do think we still need those pay-per-views. So
yeah, we do.
So because they were fun.
Here's another thing. Down in Florida, Jeremy Roque.
Yep.
I mean, me and him butt heads all the time, but I love the kid. He has a lot of ambition. He's trying real hard. I mean, I love the kid. He's trying, right?
Yep.
You go to some of those tournaments, they have double elimination for fighting. Why don't we have that in NASCAR?
Yep.
Why not?
Right.
Why
it's great.
That's what I liked about what the Pan Ams did with their WKF fighting event when they did that. Right? They had, and it was basically a super fight division. They just called it WKF fighting, And they had double elimination, and I'm like, this is freaking cool.
Because that's what they do in Florida, man. I mean, it's just all of them down there, double
Makes
elimination.
sense.
So
yeah.
So yeah. No, I mean, I agree. I love it, Joe. Those guys are doing great things. Pro Max doing some great things, and you know, I think there's ways for everyone to work together. So
there is.
Hopefully we can get something sparked. You know, not just with this conversation right here, but talking to everybody and get something going. So
let me know when you guys are ready, because I'm ready.
Yes, sir. Sounds great. Sounds great. Joe, we're gonna go ahead and finish up. Thank you so much for joining us, man.
Thank you very much.
You brought the heat today, and you named things that needed to be that passion that needed to be said. So thank you so much, my friend.
Again, I do love the sport, and I always will love the sport, and you know, I'll do anything to help it. I really will. But you can't do it alone. You need to have a team of people to do it.
It's got to be a real team that's going to work together.
Exactly, and the goal is to grow the sport. The money comes automatically. When you grow the sport, the money comes. When you have 2,000, 2,500 competitors at every event, sponsors are going, hey, how do I get in on this? Look at you guys.
Right.
How do I get in on this? You guys
that's only 2,000. That's only and that's you're right, absolutely right. And that's only 2,000 people.
Exactly.
It could be doing 6,000.
Exactly.
Yep.
You know, I've said many times, like NBL does at the end of the year, maybe the end of the year should be June. And we should have one event and have people from all over the country or who have some seeds, let them come in, and all the promoters put up some money, and let's give the money away and make some college scholarships, or let's make it legit, man. The minute you start saying college scholarships, people are like, what? You have college scholarships in karate? Yeah. Really? Wow. Yeah. You just, wow. And it doesn't have to be a lot to start. It's a start. You got to start.
Yep.
You know what I mean? You got to start somewhere.
Yep.
So, yeah, I'm ready, man. I'm so upset and so still passionate about this, and you know, I'll sit and listen. I'll help anybody that wants to make it better.
Awesome. Awesome.
Thanks for having me on. I really appreciate it, man.
Thank you, Joe. We always,
Thanks
man.
for coming.
This has been great.
Thanks for letting me air out my laundry today.
Our doors wide open.
That's right. Always, man.
Let us know when you want to come back. It's wide open.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'll let you know, man. I appreciate it, though. Thank you very much.
All right. Thanks, Mr. G.
Have a good night. Bye-bye.
See you, buddy. That was great. That was great. Oh, man.
Right?
Loved it. Loved it. Guys, like, that was a great show. Thank you so much for everyone commenting and adding to it. There's so much good information in here in these comments. And again, like, we gotta keep actually do something with this. You know what I mean? We can't just, you know, we gotta take some steps. So
as much as I want to be selfishly like, hey, share the show because it's going to get more people downloading the show. I like that. But actually, guys, you should be doing that, because if people are really hearing what's coming from a real NASCAR promoter, if they're hearing that exactly that passion, they really need to hear that. So really get that out.
Exactly.
Comment on it. Comment on the podcast itself. Give the reviews, because that's a big deal for us as well. Right.
Well, and again, the more our sport gets out, the better in whatever capacity. So
you're not even lying.
And these are things that need to be said and told in this forum. So thank you guys for joining us, man. This has been a great one.
Dude, I'm shocked. This is fantastic.
I know.
All right, this is great. What do you have going on the rest of the week?
Good question. Oh, I'm helping move in my my girlfriend's daughter into college Friday. Yeah, so that's gonna be and then
what?
Yeah, and then William and Mary. So it's in Williamsburg, Virginia. It's like the second oldest college.
Oh, I know William. I know that. Yeah. I don't know where it is, but I know of the school.
It's close to the coast. So close to So doing that, and then I don't know. Possibly something with karate over the weekend. I'm sure.
Oh no, Jeff, we got our fantasy football draft we're doing on Sunday.
Oh yeah. Forgot about that.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Wait. That's a great segue for this one. Insiders. Jeff and I decided we were going to do an inside scoop ESPN fantasy football draft. So
Right.
Tell you what, first 8 people to message us.
Yep.
Go ahead and message me because I'm going to create the league. First 8 people to message me. You guys are in the league. You guys want to be in a fantasy football league with Jeff and I as the inside scoop?
Let's do it.
Message me, Facebook Messenger, text me, whatever. If you got my number, then boom, we're just first 8 people in. We'll just create the league. All right. Oh, Jackson's in. I knew Jackson would be. It's fantastic.
Mike said Saturday. Mike said it was Saturday. Thanks, Dad.
Oh, wait. It is Saturday.
All right.
That's right. It's the 28th. It is Saturday. So, Jeff, when do you want to do our draft? Probably like Monday or Tuesday?
I guess we could. I guess we're
we'll do it like Monday night or Tuesday night.
All right.
Okay. We'll decide. When you guys message me, I'll let you know.
Yep.
This has been another episode of Inside Scoop with Alex and Jeff. I am Alex Dingman.
I'm Jeff Doss. See you guys next week.